Welcome back to another episode of Excalibur CCG TV's Talking Comics. We're your host. I'm Randy.
I'm Mark.
He's dancing.
Jazz hands.
He's got new feet.
New feet. I do. I had 2 feet transplants.
And he's feeling better than ever. When he springs, he makes the bionic sound.
No.
That's the Chevy Chase sound.
Yep. I like that one better.
That is a good one. This is our show where we talk about new comic books that will be on the shelves for Wednesdays. The Wednesday we're talking about this week is April 18th.
Still in April.
2000.
We've stalled in April.
Yes. Or we're just flying through it, because that's what it seems like as well. I don't know if it can seem slow and flying through. But it does. If you have never
Depends
visited...
on what drugs you're on.
This is also true, I would assume. If you have not visited our store before, there are multiple ways to find out how to get here. You can go to our Facebook page or our website, ExcaliburCCG.com. Look for the directions or the phone number, in which we will tell you to look for the direction. Not really. But you can find either location here in Shreveport, Louisiana, or our location in Texarkana, Texas.
We don't have one in Bull City.
No. Old. It sounds like OL. Old City. Apparently we have people that pronounce oil without the OI sound.
The sexy twerking guy.
Olive oil. Oh, Popeye! We're getting serenaded, guys.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, it's
wonderful.
That's right. We're just having fun instead of having any news to announce to you guys.
This is true.
Because the mega sale is over and done with, and it was wonderful.
And we're all loopy.
Spectacular.
It was a very good sale. Thank you for everybody that came in and bought stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And by stuff, we mean everything.
Yeah.
You guys understood what we meant when we said everything was on sale, because everything was flying out the door here. Now it's going to be restocked.
Yep.
Which is a fun job.
We'll have it all ready just in time for the next sale.
That's right. We have a couple of number ones, and we have one that is a number one with a few other numbers behind it. That's quite important here.
It is, actually.
And Mark's going to start us off by talking about that one.
All right. It is Action Comics number 1000. It's finally here. Yay! Finally here. Needless to say, it's from DC Comics, but I'll say it anyway. Written by just about everybody that's ever written a Superman story, and probably a lot of people that have never written a Superman story.
John Byrne.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's out. He's not invited to the party.
Yeah.
There's about 500,000 different covers for it, and it's a big book. It's $7.99 price point. I don't know how many pages it's going to be, but it's going to be huge. Standard covers by Jim Lee with Superman in his underwear on the outside. So that's back. Celebrate 1,000 issues of Action Comics with an all-star lineup of top talent as they pay tribute to the comic that started it all. Kind of. From today's explosive action to a previously unpublished tale illustrated by the legendary Kurt Swan, to the man of tomorrow's future, this very special oversized issue presents the best of the best in Superman stories. Cool. I wonder who wrote the unpublished story.
That is a mystery.
But Kurt Swan was like the first guy. I mean, I didn't buy very many Superman books when I was a kid, but that was the artist I remember.
So,
yes, Action 1000. It's finally out. It's coming. It's here. It's going to be super.
Hopefully you pre-ordered all of those covers.
I hope so.
Because they're expensive for us to just go and order everything for the shelf.
It's true.
It's crazy when it has a price tag like that. That means that we're having to pay money to get that in here. It doesn't somehow magically appear for free.
Nope, we don't get them for free, folks.
I'm excited about this next one from Dark Horse Comics. Black Hammer, the main series, returns with Black Hammer Age of Doom #1. This is Jeff Lemire and Dean Ormston, the Eisner Award-winning team The story left off where Lucy Weber had become the Black Hammer, and she was about to explain how everybody got to this other realm dimension, and then she was gone. And now we're going to find out where exactly she's gone to. She is in a new city in which it is gritty.
Gritty city.
Yes, with punk rock detectives, emo gods, anthropomorphic humans, absurdist heroes, and many more weirdos. They are all in a mad world in which there is no escape. So whereas the first one, I think, was very much a tribute to the Golden Age, I have a feeling we're going to be looking at tribute to what Image Comics probably brought to the table with a lot of their weird stories, Vertigo, and some of just as they escape the comic book code. It's because, I mean, if they're just going with everything so far has been an homage to something.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah,
that'd be my guess.
It's a good guess.
Good guess.
I like it.
Good guess. Bad guess.
No such thing as bad gas. Gas is always funny.
This is true.
No matter how painful.
Burning.
It's funny, though. All right, from Aftershock Comics. Speaking of bad gas, Aftershock Comics, Her Infernal Descent #1, from Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson, with Kyle Charles doing the art. Don't know.
That's a whole bunch of creative people I don't know.
It truly is. It's at least 3. A tale of loss told in 5 parts. Any good mom would march through the inferno of hell to get her family back. Unable to cope with the burden of grief, a middle-aged mom descends to the 9 circles of hell to retrieve her forsaken family. Guided by the ghosts of William Blake and Agatha Christie. That's random. This no-nonsense mother journeys deep into a bizarre underworld, filled with celebrity sinners, surreal landscapes, and absurd tasks. Her Infernal Descent is a retelling of Dante's Inferno that updates the themes for a modern audience.
And it seems like Aftershock, after a few years under their belt, we're starting to see they're kind of like a blend between, they're very Avatar.
Yeah.
Like, I think with some of their stories,
Yes.
it may be kind of a mixture of some Vertigo style storytelling. But the big difference, except for this cast that I don't know who they are, is most
Usually
of them
they have, yeah.
A-listers telling the stories.
Does hell really need to be updated for the, I mean...
Why not? Everything else is being updated.
I would think, well, I was going to say if they had Wi-Fi there, but that would be like the real hell if they had Wi-Fi and it just kept going out. Like the real world.
Where they had, satellite television, and every channel was just an infomercial channel.
Kind of like the real world.
Kind of like it already is. Yeah, exactly. Why do you pay that much money for that few channels? I guess you're paying for those that are keeping that service going as it is.
I suppose.
Shame on you people who actually watch
That's why
that
I ditched
stuff.
all that stuff.
Another one I'm looking forward to this week, Skyward #1 from Image Comics. I don't know who Joe Henderson is. The name sounds familiar. I'm drawing a blank on that. I meant to look it up. And it has the beautiful art of Lee Garbett. We'll go with that. Garbett. This story is part 1 of My Low G Life. There was about 20 years ago, we had a shift with the Earth's gravity, and it is now a fraction of what it once was. A day after that happened, there was a young girl, Willow Flower, that was born. So she has lived her whole life without the gravity that all of us know. It's pretty swell, except for the fact that if you jump too high, you can die. So the big thing to do is don't jump that high. The other thing you also don't want to do is stumble across a dangerous plan from some people that are trying to bring back gravity. So that could get her killed as well.
Hashtag bring back gravity.
Hashtag not my gravity. That's the #1s, isn't it?
Yeah.
I told you, light week.
Very light week. Very light week as compared to what it's been.
Yeah. Couple of other storylines.
Yeah, a couple of storylines going on here. I'm not sure why. Okay. Batman number 45. I'm not sure what this kicks off, but DC Comics, obviously. Tom King.
Tony Daniels back.
Tony Daniels back on the book, cover and interior art, along with Sandu Floria. I don't know how they split the duties or whatever. Duties.
It's always funny.
It is. The Travelers Part 1. Booster Gold has come to Gotham City, and he's enlisting Batman and Catwoman to go on a time-traveling mission to rescue Booster Gold, of course. It seems a younger Booster Gold has gone back in time to kidnap an even younger version of himself, and to rescue his own past, Booster must pursue both of his previous incarnations through Batman's history to find out what is going on. The start of a new story that will sow the seeds for a whole new epic to come. Okay.
3 Booster Golds.
3 Booster Golds.
And not 1 Ted Kord.
That's sad but true.
That's DC
Sad
for
but
you.
true. Yep.
Ted Kord is, if you're a wrestling fan, he is that favorite wrestler of everybody that they just don't use.
Yep.
DC is the Vince McMahon of in that situation. Screw the fans, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yep. Kind of like, well...
Give them Jaime.
He would be like Sting in WWE. They used him crappily and then forgot about him.
And then broke him.
And got rid of him.
Also, the Venomized Weekly continues with number 3 here, a 5-issue series. Cullen Bunn, remember, that name is everywhere, including in the Venomverse. And Ivan Coelho.
Oh, you got that one this time.
Yes,
nice.
I did. The allies, the heroes of Earth, have had one of their strongest allies. I'm going to guess Thor, if they're saying the strongest, either Thor or Hulk, become consumed by the poisons, and now they're going to have to stand against one of their own. Meanwhile, the poisons have been working in secret to shore up their defenses. But have they thought of everything?
I think on the cover there's a picture of like a hand picking up
Mjolnir. Oh.
So,
would he still be...
I don't know.
We don't know how that works anymore, because Mjolnir used to be very simple, and now it's extremely complicated.
And plus it's in the sun.
Destroyed. Well, yeah, in the sun. Maybe not destroyed.
Probably not.
Probably not. You just need somebody who can vision harden enough or something or phase enough to go.
Yeah.
I would imagine. That was the thing when they had Wolverine and Adamantium. Is like, well, it hurts Kitty Pryde, but she could easily have gone through it, phased through it to get him out. Or you could have possibly had Ant-Man go to a microscopic level to go through it to shrink him and get him out. But instead, everybody was like, screw Wolverine, we're going to leave him there for a bit. We don't care. So that's what they're doing with Mjolnir.
He's got a long shelf life.
Yes. So Mjolnir's much the same way. Long shelf life, and yeah, they don't have to bring him back right away.
Yeah, it's all confusing.
Yes. So we are now to the point where Mark has something old, and I have something new, and Riggs has something borrowed. Chris has something blue.
Wedding bells at Excalibur.
I guess Riggs is the blue.
Riggs is... He's the old.
He's the old. So, what's our old?
My old.
You're old.
My old is I didn't really buy the Hulk very much. Just depending upon who was in the book. But the beauty of the olden days was that you could pick a book up and get a whole story and not have to worry about missing anything or being caught up or whatever. Most of them were one and dones. And this one caught my eye at the store, so I got this one, and it's probably one of my favorite Hulk issues. Incredible Hulk number 171, because it has 2 of my favorite villains, Rhino and Abomination, and they team up, of course, and they're gonna plant a bomb somewhere, I think, and grab a hostage and then take over the world or whatever that they do. And of course, the hostage they grab is Bruce Banner. So,
nice.
Yeah, and so all kinds of hilarity ensues. And of course, they wind up getting beat up by the Hulk and all that. But it's a fun book. It's a little cool Hulk knuckle duster kind of thing. And it's the tail end of Herb Trimpe's run as artist, and I think it was Jerry Conway writing at the time. I'm pretty sure. But it's a fun little story, and then just some random guy at a base. It takes place on an Air Force base, and some random guy like defuses the bomb somehow. And at the end, General Ross actually makes friends with the Hulk, and then they capture the Hulk in a cage. So I'm sure that the trust goes out the window after that. So, but it's a fun little story. Nice price, $7 for some, Bronze Age goodness.
Yeah, that's man. Were you able to pick up 181, or did you miss out on that? Because
I had 181 without a cover.
But was it something that you had bought in the?
Bought it. I didn't buy it off the rack. I bought it at a comic shop that used to be on Airline Drive a long, long, long time ago, and it's where I bought all my X-Men, like 94 through 100 something, like for a quarter a piece in the quarter stack. And then the guy got busted for selling cocaine out of there. And,
Well, that's took a turn.
Yeah, it always does.
That's one of the things you guys have to remember is that if you've only been reading comics within the last 5-10 years, comic shops were not as prevalent.
Not at all, and this was like out of a guy's house. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of what we had to do, I mean, now you have pull lists where you can ensure that you're not going to miss something. What we had, or what had to be done was, you went to the store and hoped that they had on the rack, the spinner rack or whatever, the next issue in that series. So there are a lot of times, I know a lot of people that would talk about they, had just kind of this, had that, had that, or they'd have to like travel around to multiple
had to do
convenience
that
stores
for sure.
to look for that next issue.
Yep, had to do that for sure, because the local little Pack-a-Sack, then 7-Eleven, didn't always get the next issue in. So, you had to kind of go around, and then you might find it 2 or 3 months later at a drugstore or something that kept stuff longer.
Couldn't get on eBay, couldn't get on the internet
No,
to look at that.
Man, how did we live back then?
Well, back then we had the cool little page that had all the whatever comic shop that had all the listings of the comics, and you could order for next to nothing at that point in time. And these days they just don't do that.
Nope.
But yeah, so that's cool that you got that one. I do like the trimpy art on the cover. I mean, he's just, I think, kind of a forgotten person.
Well, I mean, he was Jack Kirby for Marvel after Kirby went to DC. Basically, Herb Trimpe kind of stepped in and started, drawing a lot of books and all that.
And drew them very well.
Yeah, I like his art.
For me, with the new title, I'm just going back to last week, and I'm taking a look at Exiles #1. Fun book. There were a couple things. I looked at some reviews on the book, and they were kind of mixed, but I'm going to have to say the thing, two of the big things I liked about this was, one, the storytelling is kind of an old school style of storytelling. Like Mark just said, you could pick that up and get like a full read, the whole story in one book. You don't necessarily get the whole story here, but you get a huge chunk of it. They have a lot of exposition as the former Nick Fury is talking and letting you know exactly what's going on. And then, it's just jumping from world to world. It's one of those things that doesn't take a lot of convincing to go, hey, I need your help. And, they jump on. And because they're trying to get to the main part of the story. And I just like that. It's a very old feel, since Warren Ellis kind of... decompressed everything. That's been how everybody feels they need to tell the story. It needs to be 6 to 12 issues to tell, how Peter Parker lost Uncle Ben. And that's, absolutely not necessary. With something like this, you get the why out of the way, and then you just go with the fun. The other thing I love about it is Javier Rodriguez's art is always very pretty to look at. I went back and I was looking at some other old issues of with Blink in it, and Blink was always, because she's a pink girl with pink hair, green eyes, very nondescript with what she looks like. And with this, they give us the first information that her origin comes from the Bahamas. So they make her look more like an individual than they ever have before.
That's cool.
With traits there with her face. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. You don't get to see the whole team put together in this, but I love that she just comes to a conclusion. She's like, wait a minute, I picked up one person, that we're here with this other super being. This they're putting a team together. So it was fun. And the great thing about this is I think in like next week, the 25th or something, that the second issue should be out. So,
okay, cool.
We'll get to see the rest of the team, including the new Valkyrie, and hopefully they keep up the pace with that. But very fun read. Enjoyed it thoroughly. There are some things that are a little off for me. I mean, she has some. I don't know. The perspective makes her look like she has very wide hips for what her character doesn't. But it was just perspective can throw that off if you don't catch it just right. Fun book. So, before we wrap things up, any news that's been out there?
I don't recall. The only thing I've really seen is they've gone over a little bit what a couple of the new X-Men teams are going to be.
Okay.
X-Men Blue is going to be like Polaris and like 5 other people.
The Dakin, kind of that team.
Yeah.
I almost picked that as my pick of the week because that was the issue 25 was a fun book,
well,
and
I'm glad they're getting back to fun.
New creative or new team of different characters.
They released the Astonishing X-Men team, and it's got Havoc and Beast and a few other guys. Havoc and Beast are like co-leaders, and then there's a few others.
Super happy to see Havoc as a good guy.
And he's looked like he had his old costume looking back
without the scarred face and everything. Good. They need to get away from that. That was a character they absolutely destroyed doing that. It was almost as big a travesty as turning Captain America villain. Oh, a little bit of news we do need to mention, guys. In just a couple of weeks, on May 5th,
yes,
we will have Free Comic Book Day here at the store.
CBD.
That's right. It's happening very, very soon.
Yep.
That is the first Saturday of May, in which all day you can come to the store and peruse our specific table we'll have set up for the free comic books, and find something new, find something interesting, find something for the kids, find something for the kid in you.
Yeah.
So Free Comic Book Day. That is definitely a must attend. We always get a very good crowd on that day. Lots of faces we don't usually see in the store.
Except on Free Comic Book Day.
Except on Free Comic Book Day. But hey, they're coming in to try something out.
That's okay.
So, yeah, we did have a little bit of news.
A little bit,
about
yeah.
that.
A little bit.
A little bit, Earl. Okay. We're going to wrap things up here. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, what you're getting this week, what you're looking forward to with Free Comic Book Day, because there's a lot of fun stuff that's coming out here. And, just have fun like you usually do watching the video.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
We getting ready for all the tornadoes.
That's right. Moan. From the Peanuts Gallery, we're Excalibur.
You said Peanuts.
Yes, I did. Okay. We're Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.